Welcome to This Explainer. I am absolutely thrilled to have you here today because we're going to master something that will completely transform how you manage and view your work. Today, we're setting the stage for mastering project metrics using a value-driven navigation approach. We're going to decode the exact math and honestly the exact mindset you need to mathematically prove your project's worth, pulling directly from the PMBOK Guide 8th edition.
So think about this for a second. It's a massive question, right? How do you prove, mathematically, that your project is actually delivering value? You can't just say, well, the team's working really hard, or we're almost done, because without earned value management, or EVM, you're basically navigating a multi-million-dollar ship completely blind. Sure, you might be moving fast, but are you heading straight toward a giant iceberg of cost overruns? Today, we are turning on the radar.
Okay, let's dive into this. Here is our roadmap for today. 1. PMB8, focus on value. 2. Foundational EVM metrics. 3. Real-world EVM scenarios. 4. Advanced forecasting formulas. And finally, 5. AI in predictive risk. Section 1. PMBOK 8. Focus on value. The profession has really evolved from just managing a checklist of tasks to delivering tangible value in incredibly complex environments. And this isn't just some theoretical update cooked up in a boardroom. The 8th edition was literally informed by more than 48,000 practitioner data points. Think about that. It is the most data-driven, community-informed update in the history of the guide. It reflects this massive shift in how we view projects, blending a value delivery mindset with the actionable structure you actually need to execute. To really get this, look at the comparison here. This is a monumental mindset shift. Back in the older PMBOK 6, we had cost management, which, let's be real, was mostly just tracking mere expenditure, like are we over or under our budget. But in PMBOK 8, this has evolved into the finance performance domain. We aren't just tracking pennies anymore. It's about proving the actual relationship between your project spend and the value being created. It's all about context, funding, and real, measurable business outcomes. Moving right along, Section 2. Foundational EVM metrics. Now, to navigate this new finance performance domain, we need some precise coordinates. Please don't let these acronyms intimidate you. They're actually beautifully logical once you break them down. BAC is your budget at completion. That's the total amount of fuel you have for the journey. PV is planned value, meaning the value of the work you expected to have done by today. EV is earned value, the actual value of the work you have physically completed, and AC is actual cost, the real money you've spent so far to get that work done. Just think of it this way. EV is what you earned and AC is what you paid. So, the whole shebang comes together right here on this master EVM cheat sheet. You take those base numbers we just talked about, and you calculate your variances and your indexes. Cost variance is EV minus AC. Schedule variance is EV minus PV. And here is the absolute golden rule I want you to emphatically hammer into your memory today. For variances, negative is bad and positive is good. For indexes like the cost performance index and schedule performance index, where you're dividing instead of subtracting, anything less than 1.0 is bad, and anything greater than 1.0 is good. It really is that simple. All right, Section 3, Real-World EVM Scenarios. So, what does this actually mean for your project? Let's move from the textbook into reality and see how these formulas expose what's happening on the ground. Take a software development lifecycle project, specifically a cloud configuration. Step 1, our baseline. The total budget is $100K. We plan to have $50K of value by today, but our earned value is only $40K, and we've actually spent $45K to get there. Ouch. In Step 2, our variances show a negative $5K for cost and a negative $10K for schedule. Step 3 gives us a cost performance index of 0.89 and a schedule performance index of 0.80. This brilliantly illustrates the reality of the situation. These negative variances and sub 1.0 indexes mathematically prove the software team is bleeding money and falling behind schedule. No guessing required. Now let's contrast that with a totally different scenario, a medical billing system implementation. Their total budget is $200K. Planned value for today is $120K. But look at this, their earned value is $140K. They have delivered $140K worth of value, and get this, it only cost them $130K. Because of this, their cost variance is a positive $10K, and their schedule variance is a positive $20K. Their CPI is 1.08, and their SPI is 1.17. Unlike our last example, this project is navigating incredibly smoothly. They are staying comfortably under budget and running well ahead of schedule. I just want to pause right here and highlight this massive 1.17 schedule performance index for the medical billing project. An SBI of 1.17 literally means they are working at 117% of their planned efficiency. They are knocking out work significantly faster than originally planned, which generates early value for the organization. That is a huge win. Let's move to Section 4, Advanced Forecasting Formulas. Tracking the past and present is great, but a true navigator needs to predict the future. This brings us to the million-dollar question, and I mean that sometimes quite literally. If your current performance efficiency holds exactly as it is right now, where will your budget actually end up by the time you cross the finish line? This introduces us to a super powerful concept, the estimate at completion, or EAC. The most foundational way to calculate this is surprisingly straightforward. You just take your original budget at completion and divide it by your current cost performance index. If your current cost efficiency continues without any changes, this simple little division tells us exactly what our future destination looks like. So let's plug in the numbers for our highly efficient medical billing project. With a $200K original budget and a great CPI of 1.08, their estimate at completion comes out to $185,185. By just sustaining their current efficiency, they are mathematically projected to finish roughly 14,815 pounds entirely under their original budget. That right there, that's the kind of data-driven insight that stakeholders absolutely love to see. But what if you're like our first project and you're behind and you want to know what it takes to catch up? Enter TCPI, your Two Complete Performance Index. This metric calculates the exact efficiency you need to maintain to finish the project within your original budget. It's calculated by taking the remaining work and dividing it by the remaining funds, so BAC minus EV divided by BAC minus AC. Think of TCPI as the required speed on your dashboard. If your TCPI says you need to operate at a 1.25 efficiency to hit your budget, but your team has historically only ever managed to 0.9, well, you immediately know your target is a fantasy and you absolutely need to replan.
Finally, Section 5, AI and Predictive Risk.
Okay, from manual mathematical forecasting, we are now stepping into the ultimate predictive GPS. In the PMBOK 8th edition, artificial intelligence isn't just thrown in as some trendy buzzword. It's deeply integrated as a highly practical, vital tool within the risk performance domain. Modern projects are just so incredibly complex, and AI is uniquely positioned to help us navigate all this data-driven uncertainty in ways that basic formulas just can't do alone.
Now, what's really interesting about this is how AI takes our foundational EVM metrics and basically supercharges them. First off, it offers swift data processing, chewing through vast amounts of real-time project data infinitely faster than any human could manually. It excels at navigating uncertainty by sniffing out potential threats incredibly early. It uses adaptive modeling, automatically adjusting your resource forecast the second conditions change. And ultimately, it leads to enhanced decision-making. It takes your execution data and links it directly to organizational strategy, ensuring you're always positioned to deliver real value. Which leaves us with this final thought. We've decoded the PMBOK 8 finance domain, we've locked down the EVM math, and we've seen how AI models uncertainty. With AI dynamically modeling your risks and these rock-solid EVM metrics proving your value mathematically, you are no longer just managing projects blindly. You are truly navigating them. So, I leave you with this question. With all these tools at your disposal, is your next project ready for the future? Thank you so much for joining me on this explainer, and I honestly can't wait to see how you apply these powerful frameworks to your own work.